Hello and welcome to the news here on Magic Bricks Now, India's first property business channel. I'm Krishna Kumar. Let's take a look at the top stories that we're tracking. 200 buildings in Navi, Mumbai built without coastal zone clearance may be termed illegal. Builders say this is unfair as authorities did not ask for a CRZ clearance before handing out occupancy certificates. BMC plans to begin work on the Goregaon link road in 6 months with a deadline to complete the project in 3 years. That's a Magic Bricks Now exclusive. More high-end residences for Bangalore City. The Embassy Group and Four Seasons collaborate to develop a luxury mixed-use property for high-end customers. Straight to our top story then. About 200 buildings in Navi, Mumbai may be termed illegal if the Maharashtra Coastal Road Authority gets its way. The issue, the buildings were constructed without a CRZ clearance. Ruchi Deshpande tracks the Navi Mumbai market and she gets us this report.
About 200 fully constructed buildings are in the danger zone in Navi Mumbai when it comes to the MCZMA or the Maharashtra Coastal Road Zone Authority. Now the issue at hand is that the MCZMA has cited these buildings as illegal because they have no CRZ clearance, plus they are within the CRZ or the Coastal Road Zone boundary. Another issue at hand is that CIDCO and Navi Mumbai Mahanagar Palika, which are the two developing civic authorities of Navi Mumbai, have already granted an OC as well as a CC, due to which the builders went ahead and constructed these buildings. Now, as per the rules of 2011, a CRZ clearance was needed, and it is not given to these buildings in Navi Mumbai, due to which they are in the danger zone. But now CIDCO and NMMC are both trying to obtain post facto CRZ clearances for these buildings since 2013. When we spoke to a couple of builders in Navi Mumbai, they told Magic Bricks Now that they were not aware of providing a CRZ clearance when it came to obtaining an OC as well as a CC from CIDCO or Navi Mumbai. Hence, they say that they are not to blame. What we have with us, and as you can see on screen, is one half of these 200 buildings that are under the NMMC jurisdiction, out of which a lot of these buildings are in the popular nodes of Navi Mumbai like Vashi, Nerul, Palm Beach and Kopar Khairane, to name a few. When we tried to get in contact with NMMC as well as CIDCO, none of the government bodies responded to us. But it remains to be seen how this issue is resolved between the NMMC, CIDCO as well as the MCZMA.
All right, then on to some good news. The work on the Goregaon Mulund link road will begin in 6 months from now. Yes, that's what BMC officials claim. The project, which will connect the eastern and western suburbs and reduce traffic congestion in Mumbai, is expected to be up and running by 2019. So how will it benefit the commuters of the city of Mumbai? My colleague Disha Shah with this report.
The work for the first such underground tunnel in the city of Mumbai, which is Goregaon to Mulund link road, will start in the next 6 months, and the tenders for the same will be floated by the end of this month. This is what the BMC officials confirmed with Magic Bricks Now. Just to give you a quick background, the 6-kilometer tunnel will connect from Goregaon's General AK Vaidya Marg to Mulund's LBS Marg. The main purpose of the project, once implemented, is for two possible reasons. Number one, it will reduce the traffic congestion, and number two, it will also save a lot of time for the commuters, as the time will be reduced from 1.5 hours to 25 minutes approximately. And most importantly, this project will also improve the east-west connectivity in Mumbai suburbs. BMC officials say that the construction will take place in 3 phases. The first phase will be the construction of the road over bridge in Nahur, which will start by end of this month. Following the widening and the removal of encroachments on the 150-meter AK Vaidya Marg will be conducted, which is in the second phase. And thirdly, lastly, in the final phase, the tunnel will be constructed, and BMC officials believe that the project could be expected to complete by 2019, which is 3 years from now.
All right, away from that on to the other big story that we're tracking over here. Real estate major Embassy Group has tied up with Four Seasons to develop luxury mixed-use development. Magic Bricks Now's Rahul Dayama caught up with Jeetu Virvani, Chairman and Managing Director of the Embassy Group, and James Prince, Vice President of Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts. Let's listen to what they had to say.
The thing we loved about the whole project was not only the location, but it was designed well. I mean, in my opinion, a lot of mixed-use developments in India are not designed well because sometimes designing in the correct manner, it costs a lot of money to build it. And so, of course, in this project also, the cost of construction is quite high. So to give you an example, the office building costs us about 6,000 rupees a square foot versus what we build in our IT business parks is about 3,500. Then it has a very niche retail, about close to 65,000 square feet.
How are these units priced? If you could roughly take us through.
Okay, so the apartments which are in the South Tower, which is along the hotel, they are priced anywhere from 3.5 crores to close to going up as high as 5 crores. The South Tower, which has got pure residences, which are 3,500 square feet and above. Those are ranging from starting price of 24,000 rupees a square foot going onwards. Similarly, the offices are also priced around 22,000 square feet onwards.
Just a few months back, there were reports that you would look at a REIT probably, but also as far as the office space side of the business is concerned, probably will hit the markets to raise funds. What are the plans on that going forward?
So we're along with Blackstone, our partner in the office business. We have a company jointly with them called Embassy Office Parks, which holds a substantial amount of office space in the country. But as Embassy, which is a step alone from Blackstone, yes, in our commercial vehicle, we're looking to raise money, which we announced recently. I mean, we're looking to raise anywhere between 3,000, 3,500 crores, basically as growth capital, because we see a huge potential in the office business.
Why partner with Embassy One, and also the fact that you're looking at Bangalore market, which has actually been one of the most stable performing markets as far as residential real estate is concerned. Do you really see a large market out there for luxury apartments here?
Four Seasons residentially is looking to engage in the most active and exciting and upcoming markets. We want to be in A-list locations where we feel that there is a strong demand. So I think certainly in terms of looking at Bangalore, we feel that that is a market where there's a lot of development already. People are already getting a taste for a higher level of apartment specification and more of a service environment. So we feel that the time is right to capture that demand, but offer them something that they haven't seen before. And with regard to our collaboration with Embassy One, again, we want to work with owners who have a strong track record, who have a commitment to delivery, and who have got strong expertise and skills within their team. They certainly have that here, and so that's why we're very happy to sort of engage in the project with them.
All right. Lastly, in terms of your other plans that you have going forward, which other cities are you looking at? What plans do you have as far as the Indian market is concerned, even probably looking at the other cities?
I think in terms of the Indian market, I mean, again, it's slightly driven by opportunity as they arise. Obviously, we have a strategy in terms of where we want to be. I've mentioned that we want to be in A-list locations, in prime cities where we've got a lot of demand and where we feel the projects will sustain over a long period of time. So we don't have a sort of a tick box, if you like, of the various cities that we want to sort of hit. We have a project in Mumbai, which is an established hotel with some residential coming up as well. And then there are various other locations that we're looking at. We continue to work with owners of a project in Delhi to move that forward. So India, for sure, is a market that we're very interested and excited to be part of, and look forward to sort of the future that it holds for us.
Shifting focus to a new builder who's entered the market, Sanjeev Goenka of the RP Sanjeev Goenka Group is venturing into the residential real estate sector. The company has set up a subsidiary, Quest Properties India, for this purpose. Goenka's firm will build 3 projects across Bengal and Maharashtra, adding up to a total of 12 lakh square feet of developed space. The first project, slated to come up at Shamnagar in Bengal, will be spread over an area of 8 lakh square feet on the land of a Malujor power plant, which is owned by CESC. The Haldia project will be spread over 3 lakh square feet and will provide housing to the CESC staff. Now, the Supreme Court has asked 8 builders to deposit 5% of their project cost as a provisional fine for constructing buildings first and then applying for clearances. This is a modification of the earlier National Green Tribunal order in the same case. The Apex Court has also asked the NGT-appointed committee to assess the damage from such post-facto clearances. The Ministry of Environment and Forests also informed the court that it is coming up with a fresh notification on environment clearances. This will factor in orders passed by the NGT. The notification is currently awaiting the approval of the Law Ministry, and the Supreme Court will now hear the matter again on the 4th of March 2016. Away from that, India and the rest of the developing countries face similar problems when it comes to providing mass housing and redevelopment. That is what Professor Raquel Rolnick from the Sao Paulo University believes. We caught up with her at an event organized by the Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Listen to what she had to say.
The outcome of this type of massive production of houses by private developers is massive production of houses only in the peripheries of cities where urbanity, amenities, jobs don't exist. And the result, after many, many years, is dilapidated housing and the formation of new self-built housing in places where the jobs and the cultural and economic opportunities are. So this program has a structural problem.
Do you think the responsibility of providing housing for the poor should rest with the government or private developers, or both?
It's a complete lie that when private developers are developing houses for the people, the state is out of the game. Is not, absolutely not. All the schemes that I have seen in different parts of the world are heavily subsidized by the state. It's not true that the programs that provide private housing by private developers are not consuming public money. They are consuming public money, and a lot of public money. That's why it's just impossible to solve the housing question without state intervention in any scheme.
Moving on, the equity markets around the globe continue to make investors nervous, but if there is one asset class that is still holding strong for institutional investors, it is Indian real estate. That was the buzz among top Indian and global investors who gathered for the RICS conference held in Mumbai. Aishwarya Paliwal gets us this report.
Markets, whether at home or abroad, have been volatile all this week, with bears ruling the roost. But that did not serve to dampen the enthusiasm of leading developers, consultants or investors gathered at the RICS conference in Mumbai. In fact, private equity players are betting big on the Indian real estate sector. Most investors Magic Bricks now spoke to were unanimous that investments in 2016 could outstrip that seen last year. According to the data from Venture Intelligence, private equity firms had pumped in over $5 billion in the Indian real estate sector in 2015.
I think we will certainly cross that mark. There is a lot of money that's come through. But if you look at how the geopolitical situation is across the globe and what everybody else is doing as well, from a competitive perspective, capital does find its place in wherever it thinks will be the larger returns.
What's happening is that money now is coming in for the longer term. An increasing portion of this is also coming in as equity, not debt. Consultants who broker these deals say that most of the funds are now adopting a long-term view.
The ideal duration which most funds would like to invest in is 4 to 5 years. Today they've allowed investment into ready products. Before you could invest only in under construction projects. So that's definitely going to help.
Delegates at the conference were also unanimous that among all the emerging markets, India is the top pick. Aishwarya Paliwal in Mumbai for Magic Bricks Now.
India is the top bet indeed. Now, a new sand mining policy has been notified by the Union Environment Ministry. The government is trying to strike a balance between construction needs and environmental concerns with this policy. So what has changed? States and local authorities will need to use technology like Android application, GPS and unique barcoding system to track the vehicles of illegal miners and other lawbreakers. The policy also has stricter provisions to monitor ongoing sand mining activities and crack down on illegal operations. Under this new policy, illegal miners may have their vehicles confiscated and may have to pay penalties of 5 to 10 times the market value of the seized minerals from illegal mines. Additionally, the states will have to create strong enforcement machinery to monitor the mining operation and measure out the mined material. Now, moving away to something that's happened today in Mumbai, making high-speed internet available to millions of Indians who travel through railway stations every day. RailTel, the internet services arm of the Indian Railways, announced the launch of free high-speed public Wi-Fi service in partnership with Google at the Mumbai Central Railway Station. I caught up with Google's India head, Rajan Anandan, and started off by asking him about what are the plans in terms of expanding this free Wi-Fi service. Take a look.
So it's the first station. Our goal this year is to have 100 stations, and over the next several years we intend to be in 400 stations. And when we're actually fully rolled out, there'll be 10 million Indians who will be able to access the internet every single day through this high-speed Wi-Fi service. And in fact, this first station where we're launching Mumbai Central, there are 100,000 Indians, 1 lakh Indians who go through this station every single day. So imagine one shot, you got 100,000 Indians online, connected, high-speed, free.
How fast is this Wi-Fi going to be? I understand that it's going to be a fiber-based internet, and it's not the cable backhaul or the other kind of internet that's available. Talk to us about the speed. What kind of high speed are we talking about over here?
Well, I think anybody who's watching this show must come to Mumbai Central and must try this. Because, I live in South Mumbai and I cannot watch high-definition videos. I don't really experience high-definition videos. All I can tell you is high-definition videos, lightning fast, amazing experience. So this is as fast as it gets.
Now that this program is launched, we've heard the key highlights of the Startup Action Plan. Where does it go from here on as far as Startup India is concerned and Google's engagement in Startup India?
If you think about the evolution of startups, in technology startups in India, and you compare it to cricket, I like sort of cricket analogies, right? Imagine a test match. 5 matches that you play, each match is 5 days. In our startup journey, we're in the 3rd day of the first test. So we haven't even finished the 4th day of the first test, let alone figure out who the winners are and then move on to the 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th test, right? And we are very committed. So you'll see a lot more coming from Google in terms of the kinds of things we're going to do to support startups. For instance, when Sundar was here, right, we announced that we're going to provide over 100 crores, actually 130 crores of Google Cloud credits to 1,000 startups this year, right? So if you're a startup and you're trying to find funding, some of it which is actually going to go to, hosting your product, on cloud services, you just come to Google because, that part of it you can take out.
Now, 75% of the super tall residential buildings in the National Capital Region cannot withstand an earthquake. This is the finding of an earthquake safety report released by industry body ASSOCHAM. High rises in Mumbai and Bengaluru too are at risk. Why are we telling you this? Because the Supreme Court ruling empowers you as home buyers and homeowners to check your building for earthquake safety. Aishwarya Paliwal and Deepa Rana tell you how.
Visuals from December 26th, when the Delhi NCR region experienced heavy tremors, reading 7.5 on Richter scale. The tremors left cracks on many buildings in Delhi and exposed the vulnerability of many swanky buildings that have come up in this market in recent times.
The magnitude of buildings that we are building in India in sheer numbers is such that probably it is an impossible task for municipalities to vet each and every building design. So we have to create an environment which is safety conscious, which wants to build more but at the same time build better, which is willing to go that extra distance and willing to self-regulate itself.
The ASSOCHAM report, co-authored by Miyamito Sandeep Shah, classes the NCR region under high damage risk zone. Mumbai comes under modern damage risk zone and Bengaluru falls under the low damage risk zone. The report also notes that approximately 56% of India's land area is vulnerable to modern and even severe seismic hazard. The Supreme Court has taken note and issued directions to ensure homeowners and buyers know about the safety of the buildings they are buying into. But the government is yet not walking the talk.
As an individual, as a non-technical person, there is no way that you will be able to know what structural design is all about. So the court said that in existing buildings and new buildings, put a placard saying it is category A, B, C or D. And the government should publicize and know and tell the public what each category means.
Thus, even the government does not guarantee it. It is your right as a homeowner to know if your building can withstand an earthquake. If your building is at risk, there is technology available to strengthen it. All you need to do is get in touch with a certified structural engineer. With Deepa Rana in Delhi, Aishwarya Paliwal for Magic Bricks Now.
Moving on, we all know that Maximum City Mumbai has a massive space crunch. This means that many of us who live here mostly occupy one-bedroom hall kitchens or one-room kitchens, and this means it's hard to make our home look both big as well as cozy. So if you wanted to make your little apartment look like a huge 2 BHK space, then here's a look at how interior designer Jannath turned a client's 1 BHK into a swanky, luxurious 2 BHK light pad. Take a look.
So I see this is the open kitchen. Well, Janna, tell me that in this project, you've been able to achieve a kitchen which is so spacious. How did you achieve this?
So when we talk about the dimensions and we talk about the actual size of the cabinets, these are standard sizes. But by giving a white application, especially in a gloss finish, what we're doing is there's a lot of light play happening. So there's a lot of reflectiveness. So the reflectiveness is essentially what is giving you this big open feeling. And to offset that and so that it doesn't look cold and different from the warm living room atmosphere, I've given these custom beautifully designed handles in brass. Also, one more thing is that because I like to maintain the same element throughout a space, I've used the same Moroccan pattern in my floor, furniture, ceiling, like I'll show you, pendant light, and as well as the custom designed backsplash. So we've again used very neutral tones, but we are bringing out the entire aesthetic appeal in the kitchen as well.
Okay. Now tell me, this is for kitchen where she's continuously using items, but what about those objects that are not regularly used? Where have you incorporated space for them?
Right, so I'll just take you through the passage leading to the bedroom. And the ceiling is where I've done all of that.
Alright,
so let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've entered the passage now, which leads us into the bedroom. So if you see now here, we've got a trap door. So these are ceiling doors which are made. So 2 flaps which open, and we have 3 of these.
Okay.
So you can actually have storage all across the space.
And also, I mean, it blends seamlessly with the
rest of the space. So that's what actually we wanted, and we've given these small spotlights to light up the floor, which is the highlight of the entire house.
Passage. Tell me about the floor here.
So the interesting part about the floor is that it starts from this end. It kind of moves forward and continues into the living room. So these are actual copper inlay putties which we've used in a white composite marble. It is actually 1/3 the price of a natural white Australian marble. Another very important thing is that this is the bathroom wall. So this again is prone to moisture. So what I've done is I've used these very interesting, it's a new kind of a concept, there's a company called So they create these wallpapers made out of glass fibers. So what that does is that it does not allow you to ever get a crack or any moisture to seep into the space.
And with that, we'll run out of time over here. But if you have any feedback or suggestions for us, write to us on the email ID flashing on your screens. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, so feel free to tweet to us or post a query on our Facebook page. Also remember to check out our live streaming website, www.mbnow.in. And with that, it is a wrap on this edition of the news on Magic Bricks. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.